Welcome to our deep dive into the world of dinosaurs. We're going on a journey back in time to uncover the fascinating history of these magnificent creatures.
Oh, it is a fascinating history.
It really is. And it's not just about digging up bones,
Right.
though we will definitely get to those. It's also about how our understanding of dinosaurs has evolved over time. We'll talk about shifting perspectives, scientific showdowns, even pop culture influences that still shape how we see dinosaurs today.
It's so interesting how dinosaurs weren't always recognized for what they were. Imagine finding a giant bone just sticking out of the ground, you know. What would you think it was?
I don't know. A giant?
Well, yeah, that's right.
A big tree trunk? I mean, I don't know.
People have probably been stumbling upon these remains for centuries, but they lacked the framework to really understand what they were seeing.
Yeah. That's a great point. Our sources actually reveal this illustration from 1677 of a dinosaur bone, but guess what?
What?
They thought it was a giant's.
Oh.
Can you believe that?
I mean, not really surprising, though.
Why?
Back then, people thought about giant humans and mythical creatures. That was part of their worldview.
It was a different time.
So it made sense for them to try to fit these strange discoveries into their existing knowledge.
Right. It really makes you appreciate how much scientific progress involves like challenging those existing paradigms.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the early 1800s that we started to see what we might call the founding fathers of dinosaur identification.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about William Buckland, Gideon Mantell, Richard Owen, names that should ring a bell for anyone who's interested in dinosaurs.
Yeah, absolutely. These are the big names. Buckland, in 1824, he took on the challenge of identifying this large jawbone fossil. What he determined, and this is where it gets interesting, was that it belonged to a megalosaurus, a
Wow.
large reptile unlike anything really seen before. And of course, back then, the concept of a dinosaur didn't even exist yet.
Right. Then came Mantell in 1825, who described the iguanodon based on, get this, teeth.
Oh, wow. Just the teeth.
Yeah. Apparently, they kind of resembled iguana teeth, but, on a much grander scale.
Of course.
And just a few years later, in 1833, he added the Hylaeosaurus to this growing collection of, giant fossil discoveries.
That's amazing.
It really is.
What's remarkable is these discoveries weren't just like these isolated incidents. They were starting to form a pattern, right? Hinting at a whole new group of extinct animals. And that's where Richard Owen comes in. In 1842, he analyzed the Megalosaurus, Iguanodon, and Hylaeosaurus, and he was like, wait a second. These guys have some shared characteristics that set them apart from any other known reptiles.
And bam, he coined the term Dinosauria,
That's it.
meaning fearfully great lizard. I love that. It really marked a paradigm shift, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. For the first time, people are grappling with the idea that these entire ecosystems existed on Earth, filled with creatures unlike anything we see alive today, and then they just vanished.
Vanished into thin air.
Right. So it wasn't just about identifying these individual species anymore. It was about understanding this vastness of deep time and this incredible history of life on our planet.
And what's amazing is that these scientific breakthroughs, they quickly kind of seeped into popular culture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Charles Dickens even referenced the Megalosaurus in Bleak House just a decade later.
Oh.
So clearly, dinosaurs were captivating the public imagination.
They were becoming superstars.
Exactly. They were like the A-listers of the prehistoric world.
I love it. And that fascination, it only intensified, I think, with the bone wars that erupted in the U.S. during the late 1800s. Now, this is where things get really interesting.
Oh, tell me more.
So we've got Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh, these two brilliant paleontologists just locked in this fierce rivalry.
Oh, rivals. So it wasn't just a scientific debate.
No, it was a full-blown paleontological showdown.
I love it.
They used their wealth, their influence to fund expeditions, racing to just outdo each other in finding these new dinosaur fossils. And get this, they would dynamite each other's dig sites.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Talk about taking professional rivalry to a whole new level.
Oh, my goodness.
It was cutthroat, but, in a way, it fueled this period of incredible discovery. Cope and Marsh, they ended up uncovering over 100 new dinosaur species, including some of the most iconic ones we know today, like Stegosaurus and Triceratops.
Amazing. Can you imagine the thrill of unearthing those skeletons for the first time?
Oh, yeah. That would be incredible.
So these discoveries weren't just gathering dust in some lab somewhere.
No.
They were being showcased in museums all across the country,
Yeah.
further fueling public interest. It was a golden age for dinosaur discovery, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's a testament to how scientific rivalry, even though it can get messy, can also drive remarkable progress.
Wow.
However, it did lead to, I think, a bit of stagnation in the field.
Really?
Yeah, because this rush to find new species, it kind of came at the expense of, really careful analysis and interpretation.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So what happened after all this activity? Did the world just kind of like move on from dinosaurs?
Not at all.
No.
The story of dinosaur discovery is far from over. In fact, it's about to enter a whole new chapter, one marked by fresh perspectives, groundbreaking theories, and a renewed sense of wonder. But that's a story for part two of our deep dive.
All right, listeners, we are going to leave you on that cliffhanger for a moment, but don't worry. We'll be right back to continue our journey through the fascinating world of dinosaurs. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dinosaur enthusiasts. We left off talking about those bone wars, a period of intense rivalry and discovery that really left a lasting mark on paleontology.
It did.
But as exciting as those early discoveries were, our understanding of dinosaurs, well, it didn't stop there.
It didn't. The 1970s brought about what's known as the dinosaur renaissance. It was a period of remarkable transformation in how we view these ancient creatures.
Okay.
And it wasn't just about finding new fossils, it was about reinterpreting the old ones and forging, new connections.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What were some of the key turning points that led to this dinosaur renaissance?
Yeah.
Was it a single breakthrough or like a confluence of factors?
I think it was a combination of things.
Yeah.
But a key figure that stands out is John Ostrom.
John Ostrom.
He revived this theory from the 1860s. It was proposed by, Thomas Henry Huxley, no less,
Wow.
suggesting that birds, wait for it, were descended from dinosaurs.
What? So are you saying that the birds we see today are essentially modern-day dinosaurs?
Essentially.
Yeah,
That's fascinating.
I know, right? It really challenges that traditional image of dinosaurs as, those lumbering reptilian giants, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ostrom's research on a dinosaur called Deinonychus in the late 1960s, it provided this really compelling evidence for this bird-dinosaur connection. Deinonychus had these really bird-like features, a long S-shaped neck, a grasping hand, but it also had this large slashing claw on its foot.
Oh, wow. So it was both graceful and fierce.
Exactly.
I could see why that would, shake things up in the paleontology world. It certainly did. And this wasn't just about, reclassifying a few species.
Right.
This challenged the fundamental assumptions about dinosaur physiology, their behavior, and even their extinction. Suddenly, dinosaurs were seen as more dynamic, more agile, even warm-blooded.
Oh,
A
wow.
far cry from those cold-blooded reptiles they were often portrayed as.
It seems like this dinosaur renaissance wasn't just about, digging up bones. It was about breathing life into these ancient creatures, understanding them as living, breathing animals.
Exactly. And that new understanding had these ripple effects, not just within paleontology, but also in biology, in evolutionary theory, and even our understanding of ecosystems.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of changing perceptions, this era also saw the emergence of this groundbreaking theory that I think shook the paleontological world, the Alvarez hypothesis.
Oh, yes, the asteroid impact theory.
Yeah.
In 1980, Luis and Walter Alvarez proposed that a massive asteroid impact was the cause of dinosaur extinction.
Wow.
Imagine that devastation. Of course, it wasn't immediately accepted.
Right. It makes you wonder, though, what would happen if something like that happened today? It really puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what was the evidence that eventually led scientists to kind of accept this theory?
Well, there's this thin layer of sediment.
Okay.
It's found worldwide that dates back to the end of the Cretaceous period, the very time when the dinosaurs disappeared.
Uh-huh.
This layer is rich in iridium.
Iridium.
Yeah, an element that's super rare on Earth, but common in asteroids.
So like a cosmic detective story.
Yeah.
This tiny layer of sediment holding the clue to one of the biggest mysteries in Earth's history.
Yeah.
But how do scientists know for sure that that layer is actually from that specific time period?
That's where radiometric dating comes in.
Okay.
It's this technique that measures the decay of radioactive isotopes in rocks and fossils, allowing scientists to determine their age with remarkable precision. And, the radiometric dating of that iridium layer consistently points to the end of the Cretaceous, about 66 million years ago. The impact hypothesis also explains other geological features found around the world at that same time, like, shocked quartz crystals, tsunami deposits, things like that.
It's mind-boggling to think about an event So catastrophic, wiping out these incredible creatures that had ruled the Earth for millions of years.
It is.
But even though dinosaurs are extinct, they continue to captivate our imaginations, don't they?
Absolutely. You know, the dinosaur renaissance wasn't just confined to those academic circles.
No.
It spilled over into pop culture, with Jurassic Park becoming a global phenomenon in the early 1990s.
Oh, yeah. Jurassic Park. I remember seeing that movie in theaters.
It was huge.
It felt like those dinosaurs were right there in front of you.
I know.
And the special effects were incredible for the time.
They were groundbreaking.
It brought dinosaurs to life in a way that no film had done before. I know some paleontologists, though, they weren't thrilled with the scientific accuracy of Jurassic Park. But, for so many people, it sparked this renewed sense of wonder and fascination with dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's the power of storytelling. And, it's a testament to the enduring legacy of dinosaurs. They continue to inspire awe, curiosity, even a bit of fear, even millions of years after their extinction.
So I'm curious, what do you think is like the most important takeaway from this dinosaur renaissance? Like, why should people even care about these creatures that lived so long ago?
That's a great question. I think the dinosaur renaissance taught us that science is never settled. Our understanding of the past, it's constantly evolving as we uncover new evidence and develop, new technologies. And sometimes the most incredible discoveries, they come from challenging those long-held assumptions.
So what you're saying is like there's always more to learn, and the story of dinosaurs is far from over.
Yeah.
What do you think, like, what might future generations uncover about these creatures?
Oh, there are so many mysteries. What other secrets are hidden, beneath the surface, just waiting to be unearthed?
It's exciting to think about because, there are so many dinosaur species that are still undiscovered. Who knows what surprises are still out there, just waiting to be found.
There's this one particularly intriguing aspect of the dinosaur renaissance that we haven't touched on yet.
Okay.
It's the idea that dinosaurs weren't just giant lizards.
Huh?
They were incredibly diverse, and some of them had, well, let's just say they had a few surprises up their sleeves.
Okay, now you've got me hooked. What kind of surprises are we talking about here? This sounds like a perfect cliffhanger for part 3 of our deep dive.
Stay tuned, because we're about to delve into the world of feathered dinosaurs, dino birds, and the ongoing quest to unravel the mysteries of their evolution.
All right, listeners, get ready for another thrilling chapter in our dinosaur adventure. We'll be back soon to explore the feathered side of these prehistoric giants. Welcome back to our dinosaur deep dive. We've journeyed through like centuries of discovery, from those early misinterpretations of giant bones to the groundbreaking revelations of the dinosaur renaissance. And now, we're going to uncover a side of dinosaurs that might surprise you.
Oh, yeah.
Their feathered side.
It's amazing to think that for so long, dinosaurs were imagined as these, scaly reptilian giants. But the reality is they were far more diverse than we ever imagined.
Right.
And some of them, as we now know, were covered in feathers.
Feathers, really. So we're not just talking about like a few stray fuzzes here and there.
Right.
Were there dinosaurs that were like completely covered in feathers, like birds?
Absolutely. There's fossil evidence showing a wide range of feather types in dinosaurs,
Oh,
from
yeah.
simple filaments to, complex branched feathers like those we see in birds today.
That's incredible. So are we talking about all dinosaurs here or just like specific groups?
Feathered dinosaurs have been found primarily within the theropod group,
Theropods, okay.
which includes, famous carnivores like Tyrannosaurus rex and Velociraptor.
Right, the classic scary guys.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Some of these feathered dinosaurs, they weren't just closely related to birds, they essentially were birds. Or at least, very, very close.
Wait, so some of those fierce predators we see in movies like Jurassic Park, they might have actually been fluffy and feathered.
I know, right?
That's kind of hard to picture.
It really challenges, I think, our preconceived notions about what dinosaurs looked like.
Yeah, definitely.
Take Microraptor, for example.
Microraptor.
This small dinosaur, it was discovered in China, had 4 wings.
4 wings.
Yeah, feathers on its legs and arms,
Wow.
and it likely glided between trees.
How cool.
Imagine that. A 4-winged dinosaur soaring through prehistoric forests.
Wow, that's like a far cry from the lumbering reptilian giants we often picture. So how did scientists come to realize that some dinosaurs had feathers? Was it like a sudden discovery, or did it happen, gradually?
It was a series of remarkable discoveries, really, that started in the 1990s, mostly in China.
Okay.
The Liaoning province, in particular.
Liaoning province.
Yeah, it's yielded this incredible treasure trove of exceptionally well-preserved fossils, many with clear impressions of feathers.
Wow, it sounds like a paleontologist's dream. So, what do these feathered dinosaurs tell us about the evolution of birds? Is it safe to say that birds are, like, direct descendants of dinosaurs?
The evidence is overwhelmingly in favor of that idea.
Real.
In fact, many paleontologists now consider birds to be a specialized group of dinosaurs that survived that extinction event that wiped out, their non-avian relatives.
So that means the dinosaurs aren't really extinct at all. They're still with us today, soaring through the skies, singing in the trees.
It's a remarkable thought, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And it highlights the power of evolution
Absolutely.
to shape life on Earth in these extraordinary ways.
It does.
It also underscores how much we still have to learn about these fascinating creatures.
Yeah.
What are some of the, biggest mysteries that paleontologists are still trying to unravel when it comes to feathered dinosaurs and, the origin of birds?
Well, there's still debate about exactly when and how powered flight evolved.
Right?
Did it develop, gradually with dinosaurs like Microraptor gliding from trees? Or did it emerge more suddenly?
I see.
And there's also the question of how feathers themselves evolved. Did they initially serve a purpose other than flight?
Oh, like what?
Maybe for insulation or display.
That's fascinating.
I know, right? These are just a few of the many questions that paleontologists are still grappling with.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, it's clear that the story of dinosaurs is far from over. It's a story that continues to unfold with every new discovery, challenging our assumptions and inspiring us to look at the world with fresh eyes.
And, the most important takeaway, I think, is that science is a journey of constant exploration.
Yeah.
There's always more to learn, more to discover, and more to marvel at.
Well said. And who knows what incredible surprises await us just around the corner. Maybe one day we'll uncover a dinosaur with even more extraordinary features that will, rewrite the textbooks once again.
Exactly. And perhaps those discoveries will shed light not only on the dinosaurs themselves, but on our own place in this grand tapestry of life on Earth.
Well, folks, we've reached the end of our dinosaur adventure, but the exploration doesn't have to stop here. I encourage you to keep digging deeper, keep asking questions, and never lose that sense of wonder about the world around us. Thanks for joining us.